even though the comics are very exaggerated, there are these oversized statues and figures and whatever, giant dinosaurs and all that. I don't know where this kind of gothic look for Gotham really came from, because it's not really like that in the comics prior to Tim Burton's Batman. So I don't know if that's all him.
I think a lot of it, him and Anton first. Yeah, they just had this sort of, they were just going their own way with it. And they're like, yeah, it was just, Tim Burton obviously a very gothic kind of guy, so I think he was encouraging him, like, make it as grand,
it makes
and
so much sense.
Yeah. That's the biggest failing of one of the biggest failings of Chris Nolan's trilogy is just that. Oh yeah, well actually, even in Batman Begins, Gotham does have an atmosphere about it because it's all rainy and derelict and stuff. But Dark Knight's onwards, it's just Chicago. And it's like, it's really boring.
Yeah, it does not have an identity as much as this Gotham, and I love how buck wild they go with it. And it really is channeling the spirit of a comic book that you don't get so much anymore. I think a lot of modern superhero movies are just trying to be very grounded and realistic, and the comics are trying to be grounded and realistic too. It's like, I don't want that. Yeah. Never asked for that.
Yeah.
Well, this whole minute is another sort of bit of evidence of... Not evidence, that's the wrong thing. This whole minute is another bit where we need to talk about the sort of obscure time period it's set in. Because everything going on here is insane.
Like, it's very Metropolis.
Very, because the music, first off, before we even get to anything else, the music comes in and it's wonderful. It's fantastic. It's like jazzy, sultry, foreign, exotic, if you will.
It does that weird thing of blending. It starts off with the saxophone and then it goes into this sort of, I don't know what you call it, kind of Eastern sounding,
which blends with the sax really well, actually.
It's great, yeah. It's well as
kind of Poison Ivy's theme, I think.
Yeah. I do remember prior to beginning, because this is the movie I've seen the least times. I've seen it a bunch, but the other three I'd watched ad nauseum when I was a kid. So to me, I was like, oh, Batman and Robin didn't really have a new score. It just kind of recycled the stuff from forever. But again, going through it minute by minute, it's like, oh no, there is new music here, and it's actually pretty damn good. So.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, did Elliot Goldthal work on the other, what was it, Batman Forever?
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah. So to me, I just assumed he just phoned it in, but no, he didn't. He actually did. There are genuinely new pieces of.
Yeah, this soundtrack's great, and so he's also the composer for Alien 3, which I just reviewed on Covenant Minute, and that's. I mean, the films themselves are quite a difference, but I think there's some kind of common energy going on with both Alien 3 and the Batman and Robin soundtrack. It's this very what is it there's a melody. It's very melodic, I think, but it is also quite textural, so it's somewhere in the middle there. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a nice blend.
I'm going to go and compare and contrast them later on now, because I'm a defender of Alien 3. I like the assembly cut.
It is way better than I remembered it being.
There's some great stuff in there. It's just a miserable movie. I love misery.
That's what you were saying, so comparisons between Batman and Robin and Alien 3 is if this movie just opened with remember Robin? He's dead. That character you grew to just died off screen.
And Alfred.
Everyone you grew accustomed to, all dead.
Oh my god, yes. That
was just Bruce in Arkham Asylum himself having a terrible time.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Hell yeah, I'd watch any version of these characters. Come on.
Well, people are always asking for darker Batman. There you go, just start a Batman movie that way. Everyone Bruce Wayne knows is dead, and he's locked in Arkham Asylum with the criminals.